Hey family, guess what? I'm sitting back in my car, doing what I call car chronicles. I just made that up because it sounded good to go right there. But hi to those that are new to the channel. I'm Angela Yee. This is your first time here. I sincerely welcome to the channel, and I hope that something that is said in the video that you're watching right now, because it showed up on your algorithm for a reason. So something in this is going to resonate with you, and I encourage you to watch it all the way to the end, okay? If you are returning, you've been here multiple times, thank you for coming back. Something is causing you to come back, something that we are both in alignment with one another, and that is what's constantly keeping you coming back to the channel. I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful that you decided to come to this channel today. I forgot to do something. I just thought about it, and I may have to put the video on pause until I can go get what I'm looking for. So I'm going to pause the video for a moment, and I'm going to come right back because I have something that I want to share, because Source reminded me that you need to hear this. And so give me 1 second and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So I went to go get this card here. I don't know if you can see that. And I'm going to talk more about why I went to get this. I did this pull earlier on yesterday, and consciousness, the spirit source, said, I want you to share some insight on this card with those that will listen. Now, I don't consider myself as a tarot card reader. I don't knock what anyone's doing. I just don't consider myself to be that. I am more very prophetic and clairvoyant in nature. I read energy very well, but as far as prophetic, I go deep into the prophetic. When I was in fundamental Christianity, people knew me as one that was very prophetic, and I still have the gift. Not because I'm not in fundamental Christianity, that doesn't mean that the gift leaves or that it has left me. I still have a gift. However, I don't use the gift so that people can be codependent on me for answers. I teach you how to go within yourself to extract the answers from within, because the problem and the answer is on the inside of you. It's not outside of you. It's not inside of a tarot. It's not inside of any man or woman. Now, I do believe the universe, God created, the divine intelligence created everything, and through everything we can get wisdom, we can get knowledge, and we can get understanding. But to be codependent upon me, that is something that I've never wanted anyone to be able to do. But I did this pull yesterday because the spirit told me to do this pull, and so I'm going to share the insight with you all pertaining to this particular card. Now, you can take it if it applies. If it doesn't apply to you, let it be like water on a duck's back and let it just roll off. So I'll do that towards the end of the video. But right now, I want to talk with you all about God, and God that's in you, and the God that is you, okay? So the God that is in you and the God that is you are the same. There are no two different gods. There's not a God in the sky that's sitting on a throne. God lives within human, within everything. And we have to understand that God is spirit. Spirit also is energy. Energy also is consciousness, another word for it. And so God is your consciousness, is your soul, it is your seat of perception, and you and God, because God is inside of you, are one. There is no separation between you and Christ, you and God. Now, you've been programmed to believe that God is there, and you have to pray to God and ask God to come down and help you. But if we can go and even use biblical reference, it says, behold, now I've given you the power. I've given you all power to tread upon serpents and scorpions, and whatever it is that you want and need and desire in this reality, you can have it. And even Jesus went on and said, he said, all power has been given unto me. And so you have all the power. And I thought about, again, what I said on the video the other day about Dorothy, and she had to click her heels 3 times when the good witch came and told her, said, look, you've had the power all along. You've always had the power. You've always had the skill set. You always have been one with Christ. There is no separatism in Christ. There's a law of separatism. There is no separating you from Christ. You are all the Christ that Christ is in you. You and Christ are one. And in this reality, I think it's in the book of Ephesians that talk about you understand the breadth, the height, and width, and depth of God, and then you walk into the realm of God. So in this reality, you get to a place after you've gone through so many experiences here in this reality where you walk in the realm of God. And there is a realm of God where things that in this life become magnetic to you. We have this magnetic pull to you because of your ability to walk in the consciousness of God and your ability to keep your high vibrational frequency ascended into a place, into the dimensions to where the things that are on the low level dimensions don't have as much of effect to you. And so to walk in that God realm, you're walking as God. And again, there is no separation between you and God. You are one. As a matter of fact, every person in your reality is you. They are a reflection of you. You push them out of you. If you think about a movie, and I did a little bit of acting in some TV shows, and when I was on the set, I remember every person played a role, even if it was background. Every role was important. Every role is vital. Background in particular because they filled in the spaces. You know, they made the movie seem more real and more alive with the people in the background, like it's the actual reality, actual set. And so every role is important, and every person that comes into your life plays an important role. You pushed them out. Every experience you pushed out. Every person you pushed out. Every event you pushed out. You called forth these things. So remember, nothing that's happening to you, you have called forth those experiences so that you can ascend. And so when it comes to people in your life that are playing a role, just say for an example, they're playing a role in your life to betray you, okay? You call forth that experience so that you can stop betraying yourself. I hope that makes sense. You call forth those experiences so that the universe, the consciousness is causing you to highlight areas in your life where you've betrayed yourself. I remember when I was in a relationship with someone and that person, quote unquote, betrayed me. And as I said in meditation, instead of me projecting and deflecting, my pain upon them, I began to turn the lens and the scope upon myself and begin to look within me to find out where was it that I was betraying myself? How was I not showing up in this reality? How was I downplaying myself? How was I minimizing myself so that other people can feel significant and great in their life? And so I found those areas. And once I found those areas, I began to then turn the switch on and began to look at my life from a different lens, from a different scope, and began to see that I betrayed myself in certain areas, and now I had to go on the journey of being the alchemist to be the spiritual healer in my life so that I can show up in this reality as a complete whole individual. I'm already whole, but in my mind, I didn't know that I was already whole. So once I did the alchemy work on me, I started to walk in this reality consciously aware of who I am, an individual that's whole, that's conscious, that's God, that's creator. And so people in your life come because you've ordered those experiences. Nothing is happening to you. Everything is happening for you. And it's divinely happening for you. And it's happening for your good. And I want you to know that everything happens in your life happens for your good. It is for your expansion. It's for your ascension. It's for your evolution. It's for your awakening. I remember things that happened in my life happen so that I can awaken and I can ascend. You have to have the highs, you have to have the lows. And I want you to remember that you're going to have highs in this journey and you're going to have lows in this journey. And so even in saying that, in this journey, things come in order to cause you to ascend, to come conscious of yourself being God. Because before, when you were in religion, when you were trapped in the matrix, you did not know that you were God. And so the universe knew that something was missing because you felt something was missing, and the universe had to align with you and say, yeah, I agree, something else is missing. You need to have some experiences. So based off what you was resonating with, the universe said, okay, let's conspire together and give you an experience so that you can awaken. And so sometimes on your journey, your awakening doesn't happen right away, and it's not an event that we look forward to. It is just something that is. So when I wake up in the morning, that's not an event. I just do. I wake up and I start my day, whether I started in meditation, started with affirmations, affirmational therapy, however, I start my day. And so that's how awakening is. It's not an event that you put on the calendar and you wait for this event to transpire in your day. Awakening is just something that you do. Now, when it comes to trying to help other people awaken, I remember when I first started on this journey, I wanted to help everybody awaken. And I got to a place where I found that what I knew was for me, the information that I had gathered was for me, and that if I tried to share that with people who were not on that journey or similar experiences, it only frustrated them. And it only frustrated me because I got irritated because I couldn't understand why were they not getting this, why they don't understand it. But it wasn't for them to get. This was my experience. And if someone came along, if I pushed someone else out of my experience with me into light, into visibility, and they were at that frequency, then I have someone that I can dialogue with and have that conversation with. But for the most part, I don't try to awaken people into consciousness, into the God realm, into understanding that they are God in this reality. That is not my assignment. Although that may be some people's assignment here, that is not mine. I am here to help you remember what you've always known and what you lost in transit, that you are consciousness, that you are God slowed down. But I don't force feed information upon people, even people that come to me for mentorship. I don't force feed people information, because it's just like a baby. When a baby is full and you try to give that baby more, they're going to eventually vomit. They're going to vomit out that food right in your face because they can't take anymore. So I don't force feed information upon people, and I don't recommend you doing that either. The right tribe will come to you, the right people that hear your voice, that feel your frequency, that feel your energy. They are going to come to you, and they are going to be the exact people who need exactly what you have to offer. Your revelation, your wisdom, your insight, your ingenuity, your creativity, your consciousness, your thought process. Again, I want to remind you, you are not the thoughts. Take that whole idea away. You have thoughts, because we think over 97,000 thoughts every single day, but you are not the thoughts. You're not the thoughts. You are the person that's observing the thoughts as they come, and you're responsible for which thoughts you entertain and which ones you allow to just go and vanish, okay? And so every individual that come into your life is people that you've ordered. Like you go to the restaurant and you order something from the menu, you ordered that person, you ordered that experience. Some stuff you order on the restaurant, if it's not a place that you frequent, you may try something new, a new experience. And it just like a new relationship, you find out later on, this is not what I want. I don't like this. And you want to send it back to sender. So you want to get rid of it. But if you get rid of it and you don't gain the experience and gain knowledge as to why you called that relationship to you in the first place, you're going to repeat the same cycle. So you as God here in this reality, you are creating everything. That's how powerful your consciousness is. You create from your consciousness. The thoughts that you think, the awareness that you have about yourself, you're creating every experience that you're going to ever have in this reality, okay? So you made it to the end of the video, and I'm going to share this card again with you. And this card is talking about harvest. So this is for somebody, okay? I believe that it's resonating with somebody. Hold on a second. Somebody's walking up to me to ask me a question right during the middle of the video. Okay, sorry about that. And so, again, I'm going to show you this. This is about harvest. So this is for someone, okay? I hope you can see that. It's about harvest. Again, I'm not a tarot card reader, but I believe Source Consciousness wanted me to share this for someone that's watching. I believe that you're in your harvest season. Harvest, we know what harvest is. It's time to pick, up your things up, your vegetables, your increase, your abundance. It's time for you to pick it up. It's time for you to reap, okay? So I'm going to read what it says about this card here, about harvest, okay? So it says, give thanks. You are being blessed. It is harvest time. Pay attention. A season of great harvest is a season of great epiphanies. And you are prospering, okay? So let's get the rest of it. So it says, harvest is when you reap the blessing that you have sown. So what are you sowing? If you've sown something in this season, in the last season, the fall season, it's time for you to reap your harvest. The harvest is not just the fulfillment of dreams, but the creation of them. So you hear me talk a lot about creation, you being God, and it's time for you to create. That's what harvest is. It's about creating your dreams, your thoughts, your imagination, the blessing of you. You are the blessing. And I know sometimes you don't feel like the blessing, but you are. You are the blessing. Every person that you've ever come in contact with in their life, you have been a blessing to them. Now, I know some of you probably saying, well, honey, these people hate my guts. Trust me. Nothing is as it appears to be. They really love you. They don't really hate your guts. People really, they deflect, or they don't know how to communicate what's hurting them. You're not causing people's pain. You're causing them to reminded of areas that they are not ascended in, they haven't evolved in. But you don't cause pain. The pain was already there. And if they are saying that they're in pain because you're in their life, that is you triggering them so that they can transmute that negative frequency outside of them, away from them, okay? So you are the blessing. The blessing of you being here another day on earth, that is all harvest. So sometimes we look for blessing as in money, and don't get me wrong, money is blessing, but you being here another day is harvest, because you've reaped another day. You have another day with no mistakes in it. It's a fresh slate today, and you get to create in this canvas, in this field, F-I-E-L-D, as well as F-E-E-L. What you feel in your field, you get to create your desired reality. And so it says, what seed of generosity, love, support, and goodwill can you sow in your community to create a bountiful harvest for everybody? I know sometimes we can have that mentality, me and my four no more, but when you are part of the collective consciousness, the collective community, you think about everybody. When you get something, you think about everybody. I have a good friend of mine, and even my siblings, but I have a good friend of mine, and when I met her many years ago, I think I was like 18 or 19 years old, and I remember when we would go to the store, and if she didn't have enough money, I would give her money, and if I didn't have enough money, she would give me money. Now back then I was struggling. I was on welfare. I lived in the projects. It was tough. It was hard. I had a child, trying to raise this baby. So I lived the best that I could. And so, but when I didn't have it, she had it. And if I had it and she didn't, I gave it to her. And it didn't matter if it was money. It could be anything. Whatever she needed, I gave, because I believe in taking care of my community. Your funds are not just for you. Your money is not just for you. Your resources are not just for you to store up stuff and keep it and hoard it to yourself. When you start to collect and hoard stuff, number one, you become a hoarder. Number two, it's going to leave you, because things have to be cycled. They have to be cycling. They have to cycle around, and they're looking for opportunities to cycle itself back around. So it's better to give, like the scriptures say, than to receive. So find people in your community that you can give to. And so here's your declaration, and I'm going to leave you with the last part. I think is so good. It says, you are always prospering. You are always prospering, no matter what it looks like. Right now, if you found this video and you've made it to this part and you are going through something financially, please hear me when I tell you that is an indication that you are prospering. It's not an indication that nothing good is happening. It is an indication that you need to flip the script and see something totally different. It is an indication that you're not vibrationally aligned with what you are desiring, but you are always prospering. Your not having money, your struggle, is an indication that you are going to be a millionaire. You're going to have an abundance, that you are harvest. And I want you to know that this day, that harvest, prosperity, abundance, all of those things are yours. You know why? Because you are God of your life, your reality. You are consciousness. And in consciousness, you can create the reality that you desire to live. Okay? You can create the abundance. You can create the riches, the money, the wealth, the husband, the life, the dream life, everything that you desire. You create it. You create it. I'm going to give you this story. I remember talking with someone a couple of days ago. True story. And just out of the blue, I was just saying, man, you know, we need to have a Portillo's in this area. And I don't eat meat, but I like Portillo's. I love me a Portillo Italian beef. I haven't had one in a long time. And do you not know, I was driving down the road, and all of a sudden on the main boulevard, this sign said Portillo's. And I gasped for air, because I'm saying, oh my God, did I just manifest it? I know it wasn't just me. I know it was the collective consciousness, but we manifested a Portillo's. So just as quickly as you think it, just as quickly as you said, it sure be good. What if we had a Portillo's? What would life look like if I had $1 million? Sure as you think that thing, it is manifested for you right this instance, because there is no distance in time. There is no time. There is no clock time when stuff has to wait on a appointed time to come. It comes when you're in vibrationally aligned with it. All right. So I hope that this video has been a blessing to you. Hope that it has resonated. I invite you to look at the other stuff that's on my page and share the content, subscribe to the video. If you are in need of further mentorship, you can always reach out to me. I look forward to hearing from you. And again, I'm Angela Yee. Thank you so much for tuning in. Bye-bye.